Chicago.
You already know we're not from Africa and that in fact this is our land. I'm going to start with what law really is. What law really is.
As a Muslim and as a brother may solve the problem.
Unconquered Chicago Southside.
I found my religion, which is Islam.
Unconquered Chicago Southside. What the hell is going on in Chicago?
You already know we're not from Africa and that in fact this is our land. I'm going to start with what law really is. What law really is.
solve the problem.
Uncovered Chicago Southside.
I found my religion, which is Islam.
Good morning. Welcome to the Flaming Crescent TV show. I'm your host, Tyrone Perry, and today's guest is Minister Ben Willis and Brother Salim Khalid, excuse me. The Flaming Crescent, before we get into this, I'm going to talk about a few things about what the Flaming Crescent Society is all about. The Flaming Crescent Society's main objective is promoting the religion of Islam. That's what we stand for, and that's what we promote. And today, and one of the other things is that what our subject matter is about today, peace and nonviolence in the black community. We're going to be talking about the violence in the black community and how can we solve some of the problems today. Okay, brothers, we're finna get right into this. One of the first questions I want to ask you guys is, what are some of the root causes of the crime? And
Well, I think one of the major problems that you have as far as the violence is lack of education. With education, you can rationalize conflict by using intellect. But a lack of education, you act like an animal, you act as a beast. You know, they don't intellectualize anything. They just go at each other for the drop of that. And that's where we have lowered ourselves as human beings, and especially just in our community. We have done that. In fact, we call ourselves beasts. We call ourselves dogs. You know, we call those types of attributes stimulates that kind of action. So the lack of education, that's what, because most people that are educated don't go around shooting guns and killing people. So I'd say the lack of education.
okay. Brother Salim, what you feel we could do to solve some of the problems? What causes some of the problems in the community?
Well, I agree with Brother Ben that one of the main causes of the problem is lack of the proper education. But we also have to understand that in America, crime is a business.
Yes, sir.
See, if all the criminal activity just suddenly stopped or dried up, there wouldn't be any money for the police department to make, the corrupt criminal justice system. There wouldn't be any money for the mafia, you know, and the big time drug dealers to make. So it's not only a lack of education, but we have to understand that America thrives off of taking advantage of the poor and oppressed people and manipulating and directing them toward the avenue of crime and corrupt behavior.
Okay, those are some good responses. All right, the next question. What is the black man's responsibility coattailing some of the crime in the black community? I'm gonna hit you with that one first, Salim.
Well, you know, there's a book that I read one time. Name of the book is By Any Means Necessary, and it's by and about Brother Malcolm and some of his solutions to some of the situations that we're plagued by. And in that book, which I refer to as his political Bible, Malcolm said that it is the duty of the black man to stand up in his own community and to protect the women and children of our community. And we can look around us today and we can see that that's not really happening because, you know, the criminals are running rampant throughout the black community. You turn on the 6 o'clock news and you hear about black babies getting shot by stray bullets. You hear about our women being kidnapped and raped. The black man is not standing up in his own community in the way that he should. Take, for example, real quick, the situation that just jumped off in the Florida McDonald's where the black female employee was assaulted physically by this white man that came in there. You look at the footage and you see where the first person that the Negroes grabbed wasn't the white man, the perpetrator, but they cowardly grabbed the black sister. That's an indication of what I'm talking about, in that the black man is not standing up in his own community and protecting the women and children like he should.
That was deep right there. Minister Ben?
Yes, I seen something in the paper that alarmed me, and it says here, we're living amongst killers in our community. Now, this is a black woman. Now, the black woman in America has been crying out since she's been here, and no one's heard her cry. Now, when she's saying this, you know, there are offenders that come in our community, now that in our community, that assault and kill. Now, the police department, they only arrest 15% of the people that commit these crimes. 15%. So 85% of the people that are the offenders are walking amongst the neighborhood. She said she had to bury her son was shot and killed in the street. She's not the only black woman that has this mourning. We go around and see little memorials on the sidewalk, teddy bears and balloons, someone else being killed. 85% of them are walking around committing the same crimes. Now I'll say this. If you kill innocent, unarmed black men and women and children, I don't care what occupation you have. I don't care if you are black, white, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care what your gender is. If you kill innocent black men and women and children, you deserve a bullet in your skull. That's my opinion. Again, I said, I don't care what occupation you have. You deserve a bullet in your skull. That's my opinion. That's my take. Now, there might be some people that will have pushback on what I said. For those people that want to be holier than thou and be on the box, I think according to the Bible, in Matthew it says, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life. Also in the Quran, if we got to go there, it says fight with those who fight with you. And then there's more meaning in the Quran where it says there is life for you in retaliation.
Wow. That was some deep stuff right there. All right. The next question I want to ask you guys is how does crime affect us all as a group of black people in our community? How does crime affect us? And Brother Salim, I want to hit you with that one first.
Well, you know, I had a discussion with a Christian minister recently, and my appeal to this minister was to understand the effect that crime has upon the whole black community, whether you be Christian, Muslim, no matter what religious denomination you are. You know, one of the things that Malcolm said, he said, forget about the differences that have been forged between us. He said that, in a nutshell, Malcolm was saying that we must all recognize that regardless of our beliefs, that we all are black people.
That's right.
And
That's
my
right.
appeal is to not just the Muslims, but it's also to Christians. If you're a black Jew, Moor, Hebrew Israelite, Kemetic, or whatever you choose to call yourself or identify yourself with, we all have to learn to put down the division that exists between us and tackle these issues as a collective group, because your daughter could go to be on her way to school and she could come up missing.
Yes.
The drive-by shooter, when he drives through the black community, he's not asking whether you're a Christian or whether you're a Muslim. So these are issues that we all should come together on. We should not be fighting over religion when we have are confronted with people who are oppressing us, who are running rampant with criminal behavior, and your mother or my a grandparent or your daughter or your wife could be the next victim. This is what we need to consider.
Okay, Minister Ben.
Well, you know, I sit and look at this mantra, this slogan of Black Lives Matter. Now, this organization that coined that phrase, I'm not getting so much into their beliefs or their political party or whatever, but the slogan Black Lives Matter is very powerful and it's very divine, I might say. Black Lives Matter, we didn't say no other lives matter. Black lives matter. Now, in the eyes of God, all eyes matter. But we know that the police need to know that Black lives matter. We need to let the judges know that Black lives matter. We need to let the politicians know that Black lives matter. So yeah, we should scream out Black Lives Matter. Anytime a young boy, Trayvon Martin, going to the store, walking to the store, he's killed while being black. You have Tamir Rice, who's in the playground playing. He's killed while being black.
That's right.
We got our elders in the church in South Carolina. They are killed for being black. So if we can't walk by being black, we can't play while being black, and we can't even pray while being black, we should tell everybody and tell the world that Black Lives Matter.
Yes, sir. That's what it is all about. All right, the next question. What about the Arabs and foreigners with liquor stores and they stores all in our communities, and we don't own anything in our communities, but there's a whole bunch of different foreigners. What y'all think about that? I'm gonna go with you on this one first, Minister Ben.
Well, brothers, I could say this. We can sit here and we can talk about white supremacy, but we need to also talk about negativity. And I'm gonna explain what negativity stands for. You know, I mean, negativity is when you can say the white man is 90% of our problem, but we go spend money 95% of the time with him. You know, so that's what we need to concentrate on. Any kind of, we'll go into an Arab store or a white store or whatever to go ahead and get inferior food or anything from them, and we'll accept that. But instead of dealing with that, we'll just accept that. But if it was a black store, we will have a problem with that. You know, we'll have a problem with that, and we'll talk about him. Oh, they gave us wrong service. I don't care about that. I ain't never going back there. So that part of negativity is what I'm talking about, and that is what will stop us from doing things with ourselves. Now, I know the Flaming Crescent Society, we take a whole different stance of that, and we're letting everybody know about that today. I like what you're saying, brother. Keep on pushing.
Yes, sir. And I like how you use that word negativity instead of negativity.
You know.
All right, Salim, you want to answer? You take a stab at that?
Well, we need to understand that at this present time, the foreign business community is acting as parasites in the black community. I'll never forget an incident that I experienced some years ago at a particular Arab-owned liquor store. A sister was called a negative name by one of them, and she came out the store crying. I asked her what was wrong, and to make a long story short, I organized a protest against this Arab grocery store. Some of these stores, you know, are run by people claiming to be Muslim, but they are doing things that are forbidden by the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran does not approve of selling liquor. The Holy Quran does not approve of gambling activity. Even some of these Arab-run stores they're involved in selling drug paraphernalia and even involved in the drug trade. If Prophet Muhammad was on the scene today, he would pick up the sword against them. You see, because this is corrupt behavior, not approved by Islam or the Holy Quran, Prophet Muhammad. So, so-called Arab and Pakistani Muslim and other foreigners that exist in our community with businesses to stand up on the principles of the Holy Quran, because this is corrupt behavior that's totally unacceptable.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Yeah, it is. We need to start supporting our own, and maybe that can help solve some of the problems that we got in the community. All right, it's a lot of crimes that's going on that's getting unsolved murders and things like that. And I want to ask y'all about the black mass crimes, like some of the crimes that's going on unsolved.
Yes, sir.
You know, and Salim, I want to hit you with that one first.
Well, our organization a couple of months ago, we actually did a whole presentation entitled "The Black Mass Plot." Several Caucasian males have been arrested or busted, committing crimes with black masks. They're getting these expensive, well-made black masks in the images of black people, and they're traveling around the black community committing crime. Now, when I say this, that don't take it the wrong way and think that I'm trying to take the onus off of the black criminals and black gangbangers in our community, because our people are involved in some crazy criminal behavior. So this is not to excuse that. However, we need to understand that we are under attack, especially in this age of Trump, where white supremacists, white vigilantes have risen up. For example, in Florida the other day, you had a sister that was shot by a identified white male, and the 7-year-old daughter came up there when this white criminal, whoever he is, shot inside their vehicle.
Yes.
This is not the only or first incident that this has happened. In Chicago area right now, there are mysterious shootings going on, particularly on the weekends, on holidays, at night, and nobody has been able to identify who these individuals are. I saw, to illustrate what I'm saying even further, I saw a report on one of the news channels in which they identified a shooter going through the black community, and the news had the nerve to blur the image of the shooter out. I'm asking the question, why, if we want to find out who these murderers are, why is the news covering up who exactly it is that's doing the shootings? So to me, it seems that there's a cover-up between the police department, the media, and whoever else is involved in these shootings. So we need to pay a special attention to what's going on.
All right, hey, we got a phone call, so caller, welcome to the show. You got a comment or a question or anything? Keep it brief, whatever you have.
Yes, good morning. This is Jewel.
Hey, good morning, Jill.
How are you all doing? You're looking good. I just wanted to say that all those subjects that you had so far are very important for our community. The fact that a lot of people need to know about what the blacks are doing in our community, and what you are doing, all the things that you're talking about is important. I really like the negativity. I'd like you to get back into that a little more, explaining what it's about. I know you mentioned it, but you didn't say that much about it.
Okay.
And if we could keep this going a lot more, maybe your phone calls will be more coming in.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the call, Jill.
Okay, about the negativity. What I mean by negativity is where you're very fast on condemning your own. In other words, like I said, it's that old adage of the crabs in the barrel. When one crab is trying to crawl out of there, and the rest of the crabs are looking up there saying, oh, that crab is trying to get out the barrel and pull him back down. That's what I call negativity. When you will just travel far away from your own kind and spend money with your own kind and talk about the people who are oppressing you and giving you bad service, you'll accept that. When you go into the store and you buy you a Domino's pizza, Domino's is that's a gamble anyway. But you go to a black, you eat all of that up, and we saw what kind of sauce they put on there, and it ain't tomato sauce, and we'll accept that. But we'll go to our own restaurant and let them miss one hush puppy that's in the bag. We'll say, oh, I ain't never going to these stores no more. That's the last time I'm gonna eat from a black neighborhood. You understand? That's negativity. Those types of things, and that's what I mean by that.
All right.
Thanks, Jewel, for your call.
We coming up on the end of the show, but before we end, Brother Salim, I want to ask you this question and let the audience, viewing audience, know. What are some of the activities of the Flaming Crescent Society, and some of the things that's coming up in the near future?
Well, number one, I'd like to mention the radio show that we have every Sunday at 9 a.m. Central Time, the Flaming Crescent Blog Talk Radio Show. You can call in at 929-477-2288. That's every Sunday. It will be on tomorrow and every Sunday thereafter. Also, we have an upcoming presentation called The Black History of Islam, the Hidden Heritage of African American People. This is one of the flyers that will be on Saturday, January the 19th at 3 p.m. located at the Kufi Club, located at 11158 South Michigan Avenue on the south side of Chicago. Also, for the month of February, we'll be doing our annual tribute to Malcolm X. That's tentatively scheduled at on February the 16th. Tentatively at same place, but you can call 872-800-7355 to get an update on location and time. And also we, get out in the community periodically, to speak out against the drug gang problem in the black community.
Oh, okay. When final talks, I'm gonna say something because I haven't spoke on what was going on in the black community as being the host, but some of the things that I believe that we could do to solve some of these problems is like outreach. Black men going out to the young guys, like mentorships and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because a lot of these young guys, they don't know options or anything out there, So the street life is probably an option that a lot of them have.
That's right.
The truth, because if it ain't no black man out there to show them a positive way to do things, then they're gonna gravitate to whatever that they feel. And with that being said, it was a great show. I'm glad you guys was here. I hope we brought some positive influence to the viewing audience. And with that being said, y'all enjoy yourself. Okay.
Assalamu
Alaikum.
alaikum.
Alaikum salam, everybody.
Being recognized and accepted as a Muslim and as a brother may solve the problem.
Unconquered Chicago Southside.